Yuri Gagarin was born on 9th of March in the tiny village of Klushino. Yuri was the third child of the four children born to working parents. His parents worked on a collective farm as a carpenter and a dairy farmer in order to feed the four siblings. Like many villages of Soviet Union, Gagarin's village Klushino was under the eye of some foreign nations during World War II. On the 18th of October 1941, Klushino came under the rule of Nazis who exploited the families of the village. Yuri's childhood begins under the exploitation of Nazis. They burned down the schools, houses, and resources of the village, which affected Yuri's education. Many families, including Gagarin's, were forced to work for Nazi soldiers, and if refused to do so, would be sent to the concentration camps. Spending his childhood with hardships and struggles, Yuri started understanding the truths of life from a very young age, which made him a mentally tough guy. Surrounded by war, Yuri's interest in flying crafts and airplanes grew to a large extent. After the war ended, his family moved to Hesk, where Yuri continued his education. Yuri had a keen interest in the subjects of maths and science, and his fascination for flying planes increased even further. Yuri graduated in 1951 and got volunteered at a local flying club as a Soviet air cadet, where he got a chance to fly a biplane and later Yak-18. This opportunity paved the way for Gagarin into the Soviet Air Force service. Gagarin joined the first Kalevsky Higher Air Force Pilot School in Orenburg. With a good amount of experience on the Yak-18 aircraft, he got the opportunity to fly the MiG-15 planes. In the year 1957, Gagarin was selected as the lieutenant in the Soviet Air Forces, with gaining a flight experience of over 166 hours. After spending a good amount of time in the Soviet Air Force, Gagarin was attracted by the newly planned space programs. With having 265 hours of flying experience, Gagarin got the opportunity to be the part of the Great Vostok space program. With respect to the smaller size of the Vostok capsule, the Vostok space program had several conditions for the selection of the candidates. It required candidates who weigh less than 72 kg and shouldn't be taller than 5 feet 7 inches. Gagarin fitted perfectly for this job as he was 5 feet 2 inches tall. Gagarin was further selected for the training group Vanguard 6, from which the final cosmonauts would be chosen. Gagarin went through a rigorous amount of physical and psychological training. They were engaged in parachute training, which involved jumping from high altitudes over land and water. They also experienced high G-forces in a centrifuge and were kept in isolation in an anechoic chamber. After all the tests, Gagarin was selected as the cosmonaut to carry the Great Vostok 1. On 12th of April 1961 at 6:07 am UTC, Vostok 1 spacecraft was launched from Baikonur Cosmodrome carrying Yuri Gagarin, the first ever human to travel in space. Gagarin bid a farewell to the launch control room by saying the phrase "Poikhale," which means "off we go." The phrase became popular for the coming generations and it marked the beginning of the space age. Gagarin orbits the Earth for 108 minutes before landing on Earth in Kazakhstan. After the success of the first ever human journey into the outer space, Yuri Gagarin became the hero of the Soviet Union. He became the face of the media and the worldwide celebrity. A ceremony was conducted where Nikita Khrushchev awarded him the title Hero of the Soviet Union, one of the highest awards in Russia. But on the 27th of March 1968, the world wakes up in a shock as the routine training flight of Yuri Gagarin and the flight instructor Vladimir Sayogin crashed near the town of Kirshak. Both the pilots died at the site and their ashes were interred in Kremlin. There are several monuments and buildings which were named after Gagarin in his honor. There are numerous statues of Gagarin around the world to remember his heroics. There were different types of coins issued by the Soviet Union to honor the cosmonaut. The Gagarin Spaceflight Day of 12th of April is celebrated as the Cosmonauts Day in USSR, and in 2011, the United Nations declared it as the International Day of Human Spaceflight. On this 12th of April 2021, we mark the 60th anniversary of the first ever human flight into the space. Mr. Yuri Gagarin will remain an inspiration for the generations to come. Hey folks, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. It will really be a great help from your side. Till then, be curious and keep learning, and I will see you in the next one.